Teaching is never easy. You carefully map out a sequence of activities drawn from your teacher's toolkit. Carry out those plans with as much kindness and tact as you can, mindful of how the slightest of problems can throw it all into chaos. And with online teaching, it's even harder. Combined with everything you've come to expect is the unfamiliarity that comes with working in our virtual classrooms, along with the other vagaries of the internet. Small wonder you feel more tired than usual at the end of the day. But you are not alone. Your colleagues are working right there alongside you, and we have a long history of online learning. Since 1988, students and teachers from all around this province have been doing just this. With that in mind, a bunch of us K-12 teaching alumni pooled our experiences and constructed a few bits of advice for you. We sincerely hope you find them helpful.
If I've learned anything in my many trips around the sun, it is that real education only happens when we establish and maintain meaningful relationships with our students. So take the time, ask them questions, ask how they're doing, ask how this pandemic is affecting them. Tell them how you feel. If you notice a child having a bad day, take a minute after class and email them. It might be the best moment in their day. Take care, everyone. Be safe.
My advice to a teacher put into a situation such as many of you have in the last little while is keep it simple. You're not expected to be an expert at this. We're just trying to get by and to provide ongoing education to our students. So keep it simple. My experience was to use questioning as a technique as opposed to lecturing, stuff like that. And just keep it simple, interact, try as much as you can to make the students comfortable. I would say try to get the distance out of distance learning. And once you establish that environment, the students will adapt and they will learn. And you will be the good teacher at this as you are the good teacher in your classroom. So take care and good luck with that. It will be fine.
Synchronous rules, synchronous norms, whatever you want to call them, are important, okay? And they're important for many reasons. First and foremost, it's going to raise the level of expectation that this is a regular classroom. This is my normal classroom. You know, it's going to give the student a more sense of a community, of building an online community. And it's going to make your classroom much more smoothly, and it's going to be less time wasted. And some of the norms that you have in your classroom now are going to carry over to the online world. You know, things like being respectful at all times to others. Obviously, you know, those norms you're going to build on as well. But, you know, specific to synchronous classes, you know, you may want to say, well, you sign on 5 minutes before. Your mic is muted unless you're being asked or asking a question. You know, you're in a well-lit area with appropriate backgrounds. And if the child is comfortable, and this varies in age, of leaving the camera on, then the video should be left on at all times. So you get a sense of their engagement as well. So these are kind of things you want to establish. And maybe a little video out to parents with these rules so the parents can sit down with their child and say, hey, here's what's expected when you sign on to an online class. I mean, it's going to make your classroom seem more regular with good synchronous norms.
Two-way communication is important. Encourage students to use their microphone or use direct messaging to express their viewpoints, to seek clarification about a topic being discussed, or even to tell about their day. Be sure to frequently ask questions during class to specific individuals, using their names to speak directly to them. This helps students to be more attentive in class, to focus better on the instruction taking place, and to be more actively engaged in the learning process. Try to make it as personable as possible and remove any technical barriers that exist. All students need to feel valued as contributing members of the class. A positive approach towards online learning will most likely result in a positive experience for the students and teachers involved. Give yourself time, and once you become familiar with teaching and learning in this environment, it will all work out for the best. Good luck.
Teaching is a wonderful and rewarding profession. I'm sure if you think back to some of your best teachers, characteristics they would have in common would include a strong knowledge of their subject material, a passion for teaching, charisma, and a genuine concern for students. However, if there's one more element that's absolutely essential for effective teaching, it's planning. You need to have a long-term plan as well as short-term plans for each of the subjects, each of the courses that you're teaching. And here are some of the reasons why planning is essential. It provides key organization and structure to your year. It boosts your confidence. It gets you prepared. It solidifies you as a professional. And it ensures that the classes and units that you teach are meaningful and that your students' time in your classroom is worthwhile. If you have a long-term plan as well as short-term plans, you've planned to succeed, and the rest will flow together. Planning is an essential part of your job and an investment in your profession as a teacher. Be sure to take the time to do it. I wish you all the success in the world.
When you teach online, you have a couple of options for using your class time. You can meet and interact with your students synchronously in an online meeting space, or asynchronously using file sharing and messaging tools. The amount of class time that you allocate to synchronous and asynchronous sessions is a function of the subject that you teach, the students, their needs, and even your teaching style. The typical range is from as little as 50-50 to as much as 90% synchronous. Synchronous sessions tend to vary in nature from really highly structured, content-focused sessions to moderated forums for collaboration, creativity, discussion, debate, and you might even have sessions that are help sessions or drop-in sessions. Moderated sessions take various formats from question and answer to performance. They require advanced preparation on the student's part. Structured sessions are those that require concise, precise, interactive instruction that accounts for students' attention spans. They include time for students to complete specific tasks in that meeting space so that any misconceptions that they have can be identified and remedied before you set work for them to complete asynchronously. Synchronous sessions are opportunities to reward progress, share successes, and create a sense of belonging, thereby motivating students to work independently. Regardless of their nature, synchronous sessions start and end at very specific times. During asynchronous times, students can read their action plans, download or upload files, access supplementary learning resources, and complete independent tasks like drill and practice, problem solving, composition, and project work. It's really important to create and assign asynchronous tasks that can be completed within a very realistic amount of time. Managing a full class of face-to-face students in the synchronous environment can be daunting at first, and it can be made more manageable if you divide your class into 2 or 3 smaller groups. A 1-hour session, for example, can be broken down into 2 30-minute sessions, or even 3 20-minute sessions, depending on class size and the level of interactivity dictated by the subject matter that you're teaching. While one group is engaged synchronously, the other could be focused on asynchronous tasks. The flipped classroom model blends both structured and moderated approaches and is very useful for when you divide a class into groups. Finding the right blend of synchronous and asynchronous time for your course will keep the students motivated to complete their asynchronous activities and to attend the synchronous sessions. The objective is to engage students in both types of sessions and to help them become motivated, disciplined, self-reliant learners.
Let's talk teamwork. Teamwork has the best results when all teachers become involved. As an e-teacher, I met with my math team on a regular basis to share our ideas related to subject matter and to positive teaching techniques. Together, you can work on your individual ideas and draw on the expertise of others. This aids in making student experiences positive and productive. With technology today, we have the ability to form teams anywhere and draw upon their best practices, thus enhancing educational experience for all.
Online teaching can encourage you to explore other ways of providing instruction. The key is to engage students as much as possible. Visit websites with videos and interactive simulations, or place diagrams on the whiteboard and ask them to draw on them. One technique that promotes interactivity is to encourage students to use the private chat feature to ask you questions or give answers. Since you will be the only one who reads these texts, students will feel safe that no one else will know if they answer a question incorrectly or if they seem just a bit too interested by asking a lot of questions. After all, they do have an image to uphold. You can shield their identity by using phrases like, "Someone just gave me a great answer." Students who are afraid to raise their hands in the real classroom will be interacting like never before. And share what you learn with your colleagues. The learning curve is steep, so anything you can do to support each other will be appreciated.
Three reflections. Firstly, the shift to online teaching. What's distinct in this moment is the physical separation from our students, new work and learning spaces, tools and resources, an increased need for home partnership and support, the nature of professional leadership required. Largely unchanged are our students, our curriculum objectives, families within our school communities, collegial interaction, our knowledge and dedication. By understanding these parameters and knowing precisely what's within our control, we can adapt more fluidly. Secondly, whether teaching occurs online or in classrooms, teaching remains paramount. The teacher makes the difference for students. We ground our preparation in stated curriculum outcomes. We center our teaching in our professional judgment and competencies. Then we utilize the range of tools and resources available. Teachers create the optimal learning environment, guide curriculum, and nurture students, and technology is a mechanism to assist us and enhance the learning experience. And finally, all students have individual learning styles and needs. They continue to require support and validation as we move between face-to-face and online learning settings. If we validate our students' efforts and acknowledge their concerns and understandable anxieties, they will certainly gain confidence in a new learning environment. It truly does take a village. Good luck.
A classroom, whether online or offline, is a social place. So stay friendly, positive, and approachable. Be yourself and share the space. Have a plan, but be realistic about the job, especially at this time, because nobody has all the answers, including you. Whatever happens, keep a sense of humor and a sense of perspective. Stay positive and do the very best you can with what you have and who you have. Look to your students to offer brilliant suggestions. Again, you don't have to have all the answers. And if and when things do fall apart on any given day for whatever reason, don't you fall apart. Breathe. Smile. The sun's still going to be out there somewhere. And if the game is still worth playing, well, you'll get another turn on the ice. If you're happy to keep playing, your students will join you. They appreciate a good game too.